So enough with the fun stuff. Let's get down to the business. So, like what I said. So enough with the fun stuff. Let's get down to the business. So here comes the part 2, where we'll be talking about the serious thing. Serious thing as in the CS talks about how actually the interest rate works.
The instruments which can be used to mitigate these risks is, for example, we have cap and floor. अरे हट जा यार. Cap and floor. I'm saying on cap and floor. Okay. I don't know why these two people are always coming in between.
Sorry, bro.
Okay. Coming to cap and floor. So what is a cap and a floor? A cap, as it says, the definition, it is something which will be at the top, and floor something which will be at the bottom. So cap will make sure that any interest rate which goes beyond a certain point at the higher above level won't cross that. And floor is something where if it goes below a certain point, the interest rate will still be at the floor level. Now, let's speak what else do we have in other instruments. We have the interest rate swaps, the vanilla swaps. In the OTC derivative market, we have the inflation asset swap, range accruals.
Third scenario. So where we have an investor from India and he has a dilemma that where should he invest in and where should he borrow the money from. So we have one country, Nebraska, America, and one country, Canada. So let's see from where he gets the money.
So hi, what's up?
Okay, so I have money in Indian currency and I want to borrow American currency so that I can invest in America.
Actually, you're in the right time where our leader, Mr. Donald Trump, is here. So it's going to be a boom. So maybe in borrowing percentage will give you 7% and lending will give you 5%.
No,
That seems to be a good deal, right?
yeah, it seems to be, but
You keep on. It's America. It happens.
okay, so but I just want to know how you guys will give me. It will be compounded annually, semi-annually, like that.
It's flexible. We can keep it semi-annually or annually also.
See, in India, I used to get more rate. As you are giving me 7%, I can get 10% there. So
See,
why will I
I've
invest
actually
it?
told you what is the rate in Indian. You actually told what is the rate in Indian,
Yeah.
and I've told you what is the borrowing and the lending rate in American. Actually, you can think about it and come back.
Okay, I'll come back.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. What about you?
Good, nice.
Okay, so I have money in Indian currency and I want to borrow Canadian currency so that I can invest. Could you be?
Canadian currency, so I'll just tell you about the rates. Our borrowing rates are 8% and lending rates are 6%.
So if I invest in huge quantity, so will you be able to give me discount?
These are non-negotiable rates. That's it.
Okay,
Thank you.
I'll come back to you. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Let me explain actually what happened. So there was this guy and he had gone to different countries where he got the investing and plus as well as the borrowing rate. So every country has a different borrowing rate and every country has a different investing rate. So the person has to take a decision that where he'll borrow money from and then where he's going to invest from. The thing doesn't concern about the interest rates as well. It takes into account the foreign exchange rates. So according to the exchange rates, he may end up getting high money also, and he may end up getting paying more money as well. So it is better that to check all the scenarios, even the interest rates and the foreign exchange rates, and to know from where he has to get the money from and from where he has to invest.
So when we look at the determinants of interest rate, we have three noticeable factors. One is the default risk premium. If we have a person who's a continuous defaulter, obviously the default risk on his rate will be high. So there will be an additional amount paid on him. The second one would be the maturity risk premium. Think about it. If a person's borrowing from you for 5 years versus a person borrowing from you for 10 years, where will the risk be high? Obviously with the 1 in 10 years. One is liquidity risk. So what does liquidity mean? The amount you take to convert your assets to be liquid. If A and B both have liquidity and B has the most illiquid assets, the premium paid by B will be considerably higher than A. So that's what liquidity risk means.
So I had to invest in my startup and I went to a consultant. So I had two options, whether take a bank loan or invest in debentures. So I'll choose an option that is the second option, that is invest in debentures, because it is less risky, less riskier than the taking loan from the bank account. It shows good financial structure for my company.
So there's two type of interest rate. One is fixed, one is floating. So if you want to hedge the gap, you should go in for interest swapping.
So like we have LIBOR, which is a floating rate in UK, and similarly we have something called MIBOR in India. So how many of you know it? Fun fact.
Hi, I'll try to explain how interest rates affect the inflation rate and the business decisions in the most simplest way. I'll try to explain that. I hope you get the idea. So, how they affect the consumer behavior, first of all, I'll try to say that. So when interest rates rise in the economy, it becomes more profitable for the consumers to deposit the money in the bank instead of consuming it and purchasing things from it. So the money supply in the market decreases, and consequently the demand for the products in the market decreases. So when demand decreases, obviously the prices go down because the producers, they have to sell their units, and when demand is less, they'll try to reduce the price to increase the demand. So inflation actually decreases the prices. It is inversely related to the inflation rate. How it affects the company's point of view, from company's point of view, when the interest rates increase, the loan amount that they have to repay, it increases. So they take the less loans, and that is why the production rate decreases, and in the market the supply also decreases. So it is again directly related, you can see that. So conclusion is, when the interest rates rise, inflation actually decreases in the economy. Thank you.
So if you don't want this guy to talk more and annoy you, and if you want this guy to talk more, then please like the video.
Comment on the video. Sonia. Why you go and take sabji?
Sonia.